We are going to convert this graph into an equation, and the way we're going to do it is we're going to figure out some information about period and amplitude and phase shift and that sort of stuff. So here we go. First thing, period. You go from some point to some other point that's exactly the same. So that seems to be right about pi units, which means the frequency is 1 over pi. So the next thing we want to do is we want an idea about the vertical shift. And the vertical shift is how far has the center line been moved. Well, there's the center line of that wave, and either sine or cosine has a center line at 0. So the vertical shift is up 3. Phase shift, let's say we're talking about cosine. Phase shift, the cosine starts on the y-axis at the max, but this thing, its max is just off. The question is, how far is that distance? Say down here. And that appears to be 1/4 of pi, so the phase shift is pi over 4. The amplitude is from the center line down or the center line up, and the amplitude is 3. So that's what we have. So now we're ready to write the equation. Normally a cosine function has a period of 2 pi. This has a period of pi. So the scale change for our transformation means that x has been divided by 2, and it has been shifted right pi over 4. Okay? And the other thing that we can do, we notice that the amplitude is 3, so that must mean, because the normal amplitude is 1, that the y's have been multiplied by 3, and they've been shifted up 3. So we have that kind of information. So now let's try to write how we would substitute into cosine and work our way through here. So x prime is x over 2 plus pi over 4. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to subtract pi over 4 from both sides, and we get x prime minus pi over 4 is equal to x over 2. And now we multiply both sides by 2, and we get 2 times x prime minus pi over 4 is equal to x. And we can do the same kind of thing with the y. Y prime is equal to 3y plus 3. So subtract 3 from both sides, and then divide both sides by 3. So now we're ready to substitute into the cosine function. So there's a y there, and we're going to substitute y prime minus 3 over 3 is equal to cosine of 2 times x prime minus pi over 4. So the first thing we're going to do is multiply both sides by 3. We're going to change color here. Multiply both sides by 3. Y prime minus 3 is equal to 3 cosine 2 x prime minus pi over 4. And now we're going to add 3. So y prime is equal to 3 cosine 2 times x prime minus pi over 4. And we've added 3 to both sides, so plus 3. So there's the equation that we were looking for.